Hi, I'm Victoria Ballou, and thank you for trusting your intuition and joining me right now to choose a stack of cards to hear the message your subconscious has for you in this moment. Are you going to choose stack number 1 underneath Vesta, my warrior priestess, or perhaps you're going to choose the stack of cards underneath this beautiful fossilized shell? Or maybe it's underneath the obelisk here, this beautiful quartz obelisk, which radiates this fantastic energy. While you were thinking about it, let me invite you to subscribe to my online magazine, Astrologic, where you will find so many articles not only on tarot, but also astrology, dreams, and all of the other metaphysical modalities that you can really imagine. We have some of the brightest stars in all of these areas writing articles each and every month. So something new comes every month. And then, of course, you have an archive of these amazing modalities that you can learn more of or perhaps discover for the first time. If you haven't tuned in to Astrologic, you really should, just to see what's happening there. All right, did that give you a chance to make your choice? I hope you went with your first impression. So we will begin with the very first stack, which is underneath Vesta, my warrior priestess. The first card we're going to look at is your overview energy. This is your energy from a very broad standpoint. Right now, you're pervading energy. So let's take a look and see what's going on. So you have the Hierophant. Of course, this represents sacred texts, sacred wisdom, energy that is coming to you that says that you feel like you are tuned in a very esoteric way. It's not mundane. This is not mundane energy. This is saying that you really feel as though you have plugged yourself into something that feels connected to the higher power in the universe right now. Something has really clicked with you. And maybe that's why you're here right now, is because you intuitively know that this is where you need to be. So what fabulous energy this is. What a wonderful place this is for you to be existing in this moment. So, of course, we have challenge energy. And while you're feeling very tuned in, which, by the way, can be traditional as well as in a very creative sense, right? There's also a challenge energy here, and that's the second card that we're going to take a look at and see. Despite you feeling this wonderful energetic connection, there is something that's challenging you. So let's take a look at what that is. It's the Ten of Discs. Okay. Here in the Thoth deck, it's called wealth. And what this is referring to is, certainly this can refer to the wealth financially from property, but it can also refer to the wealth of your physical being. And then here in this Thoth deck, Aleister Crowley actually stipulated that this could represent wealth in any sort of area: emotional, spiritual, intellectual. This being your challenge card, this says that there's something a little bit off here, that despite the fact of having the Hierophant as your pervading energy right now, there is something that nevertheless is not feeling totally satisfying with you, that you have achieved this level of complete understanding that there's still something left that is that's still bothering you, that is you're aware of, and that you know needs to come to you, or that you're hoping comes to you. And I understand that. So we're going to take a look at the third card, which is your course of action called for, to see what you can do to remedy this. Well, okay, here we go. It's adjustment. So in other decks, like the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is known as justice. What it speaks about is balance, right? Is adjusting things to bring them into balance so that you have something that's workable on both sides of a situation. Now, to have the Hierophant as your overview card and the Ten of Discs as your challenge energy, this is saying that perhaps you are leaning too far in one direction or the other with this Hierophant energy. And again, as I mentioned earlier, Hierophant can very much represent a traditional way of doing things, a traditional way of acquiring knowledge. It doesn't have to, but it very much does. This is a marker for that. And so to have adjustment as your course of action called for, this is saying that perhaps you need to find the way to adjust your attitude about whatever it is that you have come to realize. You know, sometimes we realize things in our lives and we think, that's it, that's exactly it. I don't need to go any further with this because I've got this. Well, of course, the deeper wisdom of that is we can always go further, right? And that we need to always be on the course of learning. And perhaps that's what this adjustment card is suggesting that you do at this point, is take a deeper look. Because indeed, with this Ten of Discs as your challenge energy, something is off balance here, and you need to bring it back into balance. And so, excuse me, while you have this direct feeling of grasping a concept that is making you feel really good right now, look a little bit deeper and find that ability to adjust it. Okay, let's take a look at the second stack of cards. Underneath this beautiful fossilized shell, the very first card we're going to look at is your overview energy. This is your energy from a broad standpoint right now. Let's take a look. Well, how nice. You have the Four of Wands, completion here. This card can represent several things. And, you know, the very first thing intuitively that I get is marriage. So this could represent an engagement or marriage for you. And if so, congratulations. How lovely. Completion also means the wrapping up of something that you have been working on, a project, or it could be anything, a relationship, a project, whatever it is that is finally coming to completion. And you know what this is right now. This is your energy. But of course, we all have challenge energy. That's the second card, and that's what we're going to take a look at right now. Oh, interesting. You have the Princess of Discs here. She is all about new beginnings, new identities. And so it's very interesting that we should have the Four of Wands, completion, as your overview energy, and then the Princess of Discs as your challenge. What this represents is that while you have completed one task, one project, or put yourself in the place of maybe, like I said, getting married, getting engaged, there is challenge energy about what comes next. So you'll know what this is immediately because you're in a place of completion, but you're being challenged with what comes next, the starting of what will follow this completion. Let's not be afraid of this energy. I mean, I get that you are. I get that you don't know what to do, and the unknown it can hold fear, but let's not pursue that line of thought. Instead, let's look at this third card, which is your course of action called for, and see what it suggests. Okay, it's the Four of Discs. It's called Power here in the Thoth deck. This is all about setting a foundation. And it looks like a foundation, right, with the four pillars here as we look down from above, right? This is all about creating a foundation, and this is what you need to do at this point. So as you have completed whatever this is in your life that has come full circle, congratulations. And yes, I know that you're worried, have trepidation, aren't sure about what comes next. What comes next is the setting of the foundation for the next thing that you will do. And if you don't know what that is, Give it some thought. There's always room for you to spend some time in just quiet thought and allow your thoughts to collect along the lines of what you would like to do next. It is saying set a foundation. So before you rush into something, think about what steps you can take to make sure this is really going to be a secure next step. All right, let's take a look at the third stack of cards underneath the quartz obelisk. Your overview energy is underneath this first card. This is what you're feeling from a broad standpoint right now. So let's take a look and see what it is. So you have, this is really interesting. You have the Four of Cups, luxury. You know, this card represents feeling like you can take a break, like you can take a breath, that everything is going pretty well emotionally. It's not perfect, but it's feeling pretty good right now. That's what this luxury card represents. However, by diving deeper into this energy, which intuitively I feel like I need to do at this moment, it also speaks of something that could be somewhat off. That while this is a really great place that you're in emotionally, that there has it has the potential not to remain that way. So I'm sharing this with you because that is what came to me. That is very much what this card can represent. I'm not wanting to diminish your overview energy. If everything just feels perfect for you right now, enjoy that, right? We are going to take a look at your challenge energy, though, and to see if we can get some clarification on this. Yeah, I think we can. So here's the Empress. As your challenge energy, of course, the Empress is representative of abundance, fertility, nurturing, all of these beautiful, wonderful things that bring the gift of life and sustenance to us, you know, that make us feel really good and comfortable where we are. That's so much what the Empress brings, motherhood and all of those wonderful things, baking cookies, right? All of these things that make us feel loved. So this is challenge energy for you right now. This could represent a person, actually. It feels very intuitively like Empress energy that is reflecting someone in your life. And while you're feeling pretty good from this Four of Cups luxury energy as your overview, something is not feeling 100%, like I said, because of this Empress challenge energy. You could represent the Empress, even if you're male. And this could mean that maybe you're not bringing enough into a relationship. You're holding back, and actually that does feel that I feel like I've just hit on something there for perhaps you. And I want you to recognize that if that's what you're doing, because subconsciously you could be doing that but not consciously recognizing it. So we're going to take a look at the third card, which is your course of action called for. And I'm not surprised to see her. Here's the Princess of Swords. She is all about gaining clarity, and this is indeed your course of action that you need to take, is to gain clarity about this situation. Princess of Swords is a rebel energy, and therefore the way she pursues gaining her clarity is going to not be conventional. So just understand that if you need to take an unconventional approach to sorting through all of this, then do that. Getting clarity on this, finding the source of what's going on is really important right now, because this feels like big energy that you're dealing with, that you're working with. And again, you're feeling pretty good about what's going on generally, but there's something that's holding, that's not quite there. And I picked this up with the very first card that we looked at, even though it's a very positive card. There's something here that you really need to go deeper with. And if you do, it's going to help you tremendously work through this energy. You really need to work through it, because otherwise it wouldn't have come up for you and you wouldn't have chosen this stack of cards today. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me below. I am always interested in what you have to say and what you're thinking. And certainly, if I can help you. Remember, I do decode dreams, and actually will begin a new series called Dream Workers that we are going to begin diving into exactly how to work through your dreams. And I hope you join me for that. Thank you so much.